How you doing, YouTube? Matt, Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review, and it's fucking Barleywine time. The form of 7venth Sun Brewing. It is their Vultures from the past. Oh, man, I can't wait to dive into this sucker. Listen, it is Christmas weekend. I don't have to work for 5 days. I'm drinking a 750 Barleywine. Shit's going down. This comes courtesy of Jason, Corny Craft Beers on Instagram. Thank you very much, brother. I am super appreciative of the box of the non-mystery beers. The mystery beers alike. Thank you. As far as this beer says, it says 7venth Sun Brewery, Vultures from the past. It's a 2018 barrel-aged barley wine. Our brewing philosophy is to stretch the limits of style descriptions and categories, bringing an innovative approach to traditional styles. Please enjoy our award-winning beers responsibly. And, you know, just looks like a metal cover, you know, it looks like something you'd find hanging on the wall behind if you want to go see Ghost or some shit like that. So, I dig the label. Hopefully, I dig the beer. So, barley wines, I can, you know, you gotta wow me with the barley wines, you know. Not that you don't have to wow me with any beers. Nobody has to do shit if they don't want to. But I love me barley wines. I love me some English barley wines. And kind of very particular about my barley wine. So let's see what the sucker has to offer. Yeah, up to snuff so far. You know, you had a soft kind of malted malt ball kind of ring ahead. Nothing too big. And she looks pretty damn delectable. It has that dewed brown, murky, rich, dark brownness to it. As every barley wine should. Got the burps, you'll have to excuse me. Let's see if we can get a nose on her. She smells nice. There's something in there though. There's a soft mustiness, which I would chalk up to oxidation. But being that it's so fresh, it's 2018. I think this just came out a couple weeks ago. So you're not going to be like, okay, it's oxidized. But, you know, it could have been oxidized in some other form or fashion. Yeah, it's got soft wood. Musty wood. The actual mustiness isn't an oxidation. It's almost like a slightly musty, moldy wood. Yeah, interesting. Not off-putting, but it knee-jerks you into thinking, okay, this is just a super oxidized beer, but it's not. Because you're getting all the other big, rich components that you want out of a barley wine. But you're getting that rich caramels, you're getting in the datey and figgy range. Now, they're talking about it being just a barrel-aged barley wine. They don't talk about the spirit that it's barrel-aged in. I couldn't even tell you. You know there's wood in there. You're getting that musty wood portion of the show. I'm not getting an overtly smokiness or charriness. I'm getting some form of a kind of elevated spirit on it, but it's nothing too crazy. It's not coming off like a rich, huge bourbon or some kind of crazy Irish whiskey or anything like that. It's very soft, very delicate. But the beer's big. The beer smells rounded. It smells aged. Smells like it has a bit of time on it already, but it is relatively fresh beer. Yeah, the nose isn't huge, but it's deep. Yeah, I like it. I want to see how that musty wood comes off in the taste. Cheers. That's a good beer. That's a good beer. But it lacks going next level. Because it does have that stale portion. It does have that musty, slightly stale portion to it. That oxidized portion, which is a real bummer because it's still a really good beer. And I could see it going just absolutely next level without it. So, at first get just rich sweetness, multi-layered, multi-dimensional sweetness. Caramel here, figginess there, a little bit of soft brown sugar over there, you know, a little bit of caramel there, even a little bit of feels like a little bit of like soft maybe vanilla portion from the wood or something like that. You have all these different sweet portions to show, kind of bouncing off there. Then you get hit with almost like a spiciness. It's not. There's an oak wood tannin portion to it that's not huge, but it's enough to kind of add a little bit of dryness, which is needed. But there's an added component. There's something spicy about it. It's almost like a spiced Caribbean rum kind of vibe to it. Rum barrel, maybe? I don't think so, though. Maybe, but it may be rye. I would lean more rye than anything else, but I have no idea. Only because that spice component is big enough to be noteworthy. And you're not getting it from Barleywine unless you're going with, like, crazy spicy, like, super herbally hops, which could definitely be the case, or you're adding a kind of rye whiskey component to it, or both. I dig that, though. I like it. I like where we're headed so far. But then you're met. Each sip, it's more and more forgivable, more and more not as big of an issue. There's a soft, musty, really kind of old booky oxidation, which is just bizarre from such a fresh beer. Like I said, each time I take a sip, it's not as, I'm going to use the word criminal, but it's not as apparent. But you're talking to somebody that loves old beer, so I'm really kind of okay and in tune with a lot of oxidation, so I think this might be just my old beer love kind of coming into play to where I'm kind of tuning out negative oxidation. It's, we all have those kind of biases, and we tweak stuff sometimes mentally, flavor-wise, the way we want it to go. And it's fun. I like it. It just lacks this pop. It lacks this wow factor. Now, are you going to get that with age? I don't know. I don't think so, because a lot of these kind of barrel-aged barley wines, I don't think they stand the test of time for long-haul aging. Maybe a year might have this turn into something different, but I don't know if it's going to turn into something greater, because it doesn't have a lot of sharp edges. Sans that little bit of spiciness kind of halfway through that is fun. Everything else is kind of nice and rounded. So it's nice. It's a tasty beer. It's a delicious beer. I like it. It's one of the better barley wines I've had this year, let's put it that way. But once you get halfway through, you get that it's slightly oxidized mustiness, which acts as like a kind of like a turbulence you see in them movies, to where the plane flies and it hits turbulence and drops. That's how this beer goes. You get this rich sweetness, complex sweetness, and you get that little bit of spiciness, and then bang, it drops considerably down to a really pleasant point. But you want that ride to continue straight, if not climb a little bit. And it just kind of drops and then levels off and just kind of fades away. The point where it's dangerous. There's no ABV in the bottle, so I can't tell you what ABV is. I'm guessing this is 12%, give or take. It might be even a little bit less. I'm just guessing it's 12% because you have that big drop off. So I'm guessing that kind of fools you, thinking the beer is a little bit lighter than it actually is. But it's tasty. It's nice. It makes me want to try more stuff from 7th Son, but I also know these guys kind of, fiddle around in the whole secondary market quite a bit, and it's just kind of lacking that kind of next level wow factor for me to kind of go gaga for. I don't know what else to say. It's a really well done barley wine. The barrel aging is apparent but not overpowering. The barley wine is still the star of the show, and it almost acts like the barrel aging is a kind of accelerator for age for the barley wine, as opposed to be a kind of catalyst, a talking point, a major sticking point, star of the show of the beer, as opposed to where most barrel aged beers, it's like the barrel and the beer is down here somewhere, or even. This is almost like it's an accelerator. It's something to kind of help that age along, which barley wines typically need. It's almost like that when it comes to this beer. It's tasty. It's fun. I like it. I dig it. But it just kind of misses the mark from next echelon shit. So let's talk about it. Is it one of the better barley wines I've had? I already actually answered that. Yes, it's one of the better barley wines I had this year. So it just keeps itself out of that top running. Value and availability, no idea. 750 barrel aged barley wine from Florida. Who the fuck knows? And leave you with, if you like what we like this beer, if you like big barrel-aged barley wines, it's kind of where it lands. If you like old beer, because with the way that barrel aging comes off, it comes off as an older beer, so while it does have oxidative properties to it, if you like old beers, you'll be okay with that. So if you like big old barley wines, man, this is going to do you. Do you proper. And it might not be the best one you ever had, but, you know, close enough. There you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive if you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a nice big 7th Son beer right now. And we'll see you next time. Cheers.